Yeah, we out here on the way to go meet the rest of the UK chapter of the NFAC. So yeah, we're out here. Yeah, we out here on the way. Yeah, we out here on the way to go meet the rest of the UK chapter of the NFAC. So yeah, we're out here just getting a little footage for MajorTV and.
Let's talk. I said there's power in these words, so let's talk. Let's talk. I said there's power in these words, so let's talk. Yeah. Good morning, good afternoon, and good night. If I don't talk to you, a treasure in this message, so I gotta drop a couple jewels. Did it for my people, need some guidance, and they seek it true. Tired of propaganda, and they sick of being lied to. There's power in these words, so let's talk. Yeah. So let's talk. I say there's power in these words, so let's talk. Yeah. So let's talk. I say there's power in these words, so let's talk. Yeah. So let's talk. I say there's power in these words, so let's talk. So let's talk. So let's talk. I said there's power in these words, so let's talk. Yeah, so let's talk. I said there's power in these words, so let's talk. Yeah, so let's talk. Sharing knowledge like college, corruption and all the violence. We talk about all our problems, we turn our words into power. When all our heroes is dying, the media making them monsters. Black leaders stripper, they honor like history, they rewrite it. There's power in these words, so let's talk. Yeah, so let's talk. I said there's power in these words, so let's talk. Yeah, so let's talk. I said there's power in these words, so let's talk. Yeah, so let's talk. I said there's power in these words, so let's talk. Let's talk. I said there's power in these words, so let's talk.
Hey, my people, what's going on? This is MajorTvLetsTalk. I apologize for technical difficulty. Internet was acting up, and y'all probably heard me talking in the background. But thank you for everybody tuning in. It was two people already like in the mentions. I would appreciate y'all get back in the mentions because when I had knocked myself off the live, it took the two people out the mentions. So y'all come back in the mention. Let me know y'all in the building. You know what I'm saying? Let me introduce my lovely host, the sweet Achoti Tamar. How you doing?
Shalom, family. How are you tonight, Major?
I'm great. I'm great. I'm great. How you doing?
I can't complain, won't complain. Y'all already know the drill.
For sure. For sure. I see 22 viewing. I appreciate I can get 22 responses. Let me know you're in the building. We're gonna talk about something very interesting and something that most people been talking about. We're gonna really go into the last video Kwame Brown had done. Les Smith, thank you for tuning in. Shalom, Major TV and beautiful people. Shalom, you sister. Thank you. I'm myself. Adults in the building, you watching, checking it out, huh? Pow, Black Power. All right here. Anne Marie Hill in the building, peace and blessings. Thank you for tuning in. Peace and blessings, brother Major. Thank you for tuning in. Troy in the building, NFAC for life 444. You already know. Omega Red, salute. How you doing? Adults back in the building, huh? Peace to the guys. Golden Rule, President from Oklahoma. Thank you for tuning in. Rule Golden from Oklahoma. With the rest of my people. All right, there you go, right here. How you doing? What's up? Well, that's Quaja, Quaja, Quaja. I can't help with that. Spiritual journey home. Shalom.
Hey, I think it's Kwashe Yas.
All right,
Kwashe
Quaja,
Yas.
yeah. Spiritual journey home. Okay, that's not soul journey of life wife, huh? I do. On the,
No, I don't think so. I don't think that's so. But
I know I
nonetheless,
apologize.
that's a sister in the spirit. All praises to the
All right,
Most High. Shalom, sister.
beautiful, beautiful. Geneva Grill, my girl in the building. How you doing? What's up? Glad you come through. Blessings, Major Cody, blessings, family, beautiful people, love all day, every day. TNT, Mike and Jazz, my family building. How you doing? Shalom, family, Major and Cody. What's up? Oh, I see. Washisha. All right. Washisha. Thank you, Washisha. Glad you're able to tune in. There's 30 people viewing. I would love to see 30 people in the chat. And do me one favor. Can you like the video right now and share it? We definitely appreciate that. We definitely want to get the channel out. We definitely want to get the information out. You know, me and Cody, we be spitting that fire. We bring people on the show. We've seen a lot of news content. We're trying to expand Major TV. We're going to be discussing all kind of topics, not just about not just general commentary, but very specific topics. Like we have a podcast Sunday noon Eastern time, Generation Well Building, and we dropping the news and stuff like that every so often to inform y'all about what's going on. That's Black News Talking Entertainment. We got Kings and Queens in the building. 018. Shalom Major and Cody. Love, that's what's up. Dave Dillon in the building. Blessings, family. Finally catching you live in Sacramento, California. Oh, Lord, thank you for coming through. L Bigfoot, 22. All praise the Most High, all day, every day. Thank y'all, thank y'all, thank y'all. Look, we're going to get straight to it. Kwame just did. Well, I'm going to just introduce the topic. Are we really listening to Kwame Brown? Are we really listening to Kwame Brown? And the reason why I'm saying that, y'all, is the reason why I'm going there. And I'm going there because he had an interesting live that me and Cody had watched, and he talked about everything. I got some things listed. We're gonna just bounce through it. If we miss something, y'all make sure y'all bring it up. We can talk about it. But I'm gonna open the floor to Cody first to see specifically what you noticed that was really like. Let me just say this. Talked about a lot. I mean, I'm just gonna go through. Let me just run through a few things that I got wrote down. He talked about the B.E.T. wars. He talked about masculinity and femininity. He talked about the black family South influence, Birch Watkins, the go along get along game, the music industry, how the child is like you can say running the home. It's just a bunch of things. I'm gonna just like let Corey open up and just let um her speak about what she knows about Kwame and what he was talking about. He went real deep. He covered a lot of things. I believe he didn't just throw out a bunch of problems. He also had some answers to some of them issues he was talking about in our community.
That's absolutely right, Major. And ever since Kwame Brown came up on the scene and started exposing the go along to get along gang, I had to, join his bandwagon because for ever since 2015, I have been recognizing our so-called people who are influential that has the platform and yet and still they're just going along to get along with the oppressors, steady pushing the propaganda of the oppressor that is not leading our people to any shape, form, or fashion of progress. And so when Kwame Brown came upon the scene and he was just speaking truth, some people may not like the colorful language that he used. I'm accustomed to it. I grew up in the hood. I probably use some of that language myself at a point in time. Get me mad enough, and I probably you will still use that language. Most High forgive me, but at some point in time, you have to use that colorful language to get your point across to get people's attention. And now that Kwame Brown has got people's attention, we have to explore Major because we're in this journalistic world. We're reporting black media. We cannot ignore what Kwame Brown has just exposed to the masses, and he's pushing against and he's fighting against the powers that be. So I just want to take this opportunity to say that um, the majority of the things that Kwame Brown is saying is true. If we can get past his colorful language and understand the message that he's trying to convey, I think that we as a black people will understand what he's trying to say and what he's trying to do to move us to a better position and a better mental mind state as a people, because the propaganda that the mainstream media is pushing is detrimental to our people. It's causing destruction of our people. And I give all praise to the Most High for Kwame Brown having the fortitude, the courageousness, and the kahunas to stand up against the oppressor and not be a part of the go along to get along gang. And I yield the mic.
All right, well, let's go straight to it. Let's talk about the B.E.T. wars. He specifically talked about question whether B.E.T. He questioned B.E.T. and making statements about he believed it was sold. Well, you know there was sold. Robert Johnson believes sold him to Viacom. I'm not sure a company in Germany. If y'all can correct me in the chat, y'all probably can.
Yeah.
You company.
Yes,
Um,
he did. He did. So, excuse me, family. Sell a company to Viacom. Viacom.
all
Yeah.
right, all right. So it's no longer controlled by a black person or black people. The only thing about Robert Jones' story, he started BT with $50,000, and as you know, it became a big mega business. And I remember Earl Gray's in Black Enterprise magazine was really pushing the issue about why black people should say black owned, and he was noticing people were selling their businesses. And then when Robert Johnson did it with B&T, it kind of just knocked Robert Gray's off his feet when he had to announce it publicly that he had sold it and he was getting over to the airline business. I remember because I was studying, I would be watching Black Enterprise a lot. You know what I'm saying? But let's go to BT. Now we know it's about is white people own it, even though we know the face of BT, they are black people. I forgot the lady name. What's the name of the lady that run it? the sister that run it on McCordy. Her name Cynthia or something.
I can't remember her last name, but
Is Cynthia? Is it Cynthia?
I believe her first name is Cynthia, but I cannot say her last name. But what I want to say is, as far as that sister goes, um, I, I'm just waiting for her to show up. I'm gonna put it that way. As far as that sister goes, I'm waiting for my sisters to show up.
Well, it's gonna be hard because it's owned by white people. But let me say this: he talked about um Nas X. He was saying all three people kissed, like you know what I'm saying, and he really was like going hard about how we glorify now. You know that a person is coming out. You know they have to be in the closet no more, addressing the LGBTQ alphabet community, and he was talking about how it's like not as a thing, right? Homosexuality or LGBT community. Whereas he's saying like they promote it so much to the point whereas like with the situation with Dwayne Wade, he was showing an example whereas he when a kid is that young and don't know about this sexuality like that, what have you, they shouldn't even be thinking about sex to get married, right? He says so as far as that part, they're still living under the parent roof. And he was just looking at it like, you know what I'm saying, that you've been created, you know, like a male or a female, and then you have a flip somewhere down the line, a child flip and want to become the opposite sex, you know what I'm saying? Male to female or female to male. He's saying that he don't have an issue with it, you know what I'm saying? But he's saying for children, and how children are basically by society, they're pushing the narrative like you gotta let a child be a child if they won't be that so forth so on. He said under the family household, the rules, this how it's supposed to be. Now if you're when you're an adult, once you're outside my house, you can do whatever you want. And he was just saying how they're pushing the narrative, right? And it was just so profound to the point where that's true. You know, it's nothing just lay it all out and be whatever you want to be, right? And that's cool. All right, we understand what's going on. But then it's they're forcing the household, whereas families being challenged because their kids having these sexual orientation changes that as far as want to transition that they don't want a family to be a family. A family can't still put their foot down and say, well, hey, this is how I want it to be and so forth, so on. And he said it way more eloquently and more articulate. I'm gonna let Cody come in and speak about this, but he really like broke it down to the sense where it made so much sense. Like he said that by him being heterosexual, you know what I'm saying? You know, he don't have to go around saying I'm heterosexual and so forth, so on. And half the time you really don't know what people really is sometimes because everybody don't like when they or Gail would have you be dressed up with dresses and all that, making some be known people look like you and I would have you. You know, same with the females. You got females that look like a woman, but it's the females. The thing about it is like he just feel like it's being glorified so much. I just want to call it come in and I'm pass the mic to you.
And so I think where Kwame had a problem with the whole LGBTQXYZ movement is that they're trying to, um, for lack of better words, force this down our children's throat.
All
They're
right.
introducing this into elementary schools, letting them know that you have a choice when that goes against nature. No, you don't
Right.
have a choice. If you were born with a penis and some balls, you are a male, according to scripture, according to anatomy, according to science. If you were born with a vagina, you are a female, according to scripture, according to anatomy, according to science. And so what he's saying is that now the powers that be is forcing this propaganda down our children's throat before their brains can even have a chance to fully develop, because he may mention that the human brain has not become fully developed until the age 25. Now you all think about what you were doing at the age 25. I can think of a whole plethora of things that I did before I was 25, and I give all praises to the Most High for allowing me to make it to 25, and then understanding that that stuff I did a long time ago, that ain't right. So, but they're not giving our children the opportunity to have their brains fully develop and to be able to make a decision whether or not this is right or this is wrong, because they're telling them at the age of 6, at the age of 5, at the age of 8, that whatever you're thinking right now in your little brain is correct. So if you're feeling like you want to be a woman, it's all right for you to be a woman, because that's what you're thinking and that's what you're feeling, regardless of what nature has set out for you, regardless of the Most High said what you were, regardless of what science said you were. If you're feeling in your feeling, if you're in your flesh and you're feeling like you want to be a girl, you can be a girl. Now, is that right? Kwame Brown is saying, no, that's not right, because that goes against the natural order of things. Kids of that age should not even be thinking about whether or not they're going to settle down and have sexual intercourse with men. So if they're not even thinking about that, if they shouldn't be thinking about those things, if we should not be introducing them to those type of things at that age, then why is our government allowing this to happen? Why are school systems adopting curriculum that's forcing this into the elementary schools and having the children whose brains have not been fully developed make a decision about how the rest of their life shall go? I think that that is overreach. I think that that's the job of the parents. I think that that's all part of the plan to destroy the Black race. Because if you have Black boys, and I'm talking about Black boys, deciding that they no longer feel comfortable in the skin that the Most High Creator has made them in, they no longer feel comfortable in that skin, and they feel like they need to be something else other than what the Most High created them to be. And we have an adults that's saying it's okay for you to feel this way, and then they're going along with this way. That's leading our kids into a realm where our Black race, that's leading our children, our male children, on a lane, on a path where our Black race will then become extinct, because our Black males hold the seed. They hold the seed that can reproduce. And if they're not reproducing with a woman because they're shacking up with a man and exchanging affections with a man, then we're going to become extinct as a people. And we have to understand that's what the powers that be wants, because they're afraid eventually that their race would become extinct because they're not really human and they can't reproduce at the rate that we're reproducing. And their race are becoming extinct. And so in order to slow us down, they have to push this propaganda that we should not multiply.
Yeah. And the reason why I brought that up, right, is because he talked about that, by Nas X and them kissing on the stage like they did, men kissing. Our kids watch B.E.T, right? And when you say the government, you gotta include everybody, society, government plus society, right? And I like to put it all up because it's the government institutions and all this stuff, right? And systemically shaping our brain. And what he's saying is we spewing this nonsense in family homes, right? He's not knocking if, like you said, they get of age where they really, because when they're young, they don't understand all that. And they're trying to make people or make families see where they do understand. And their child, like he said, it's really tough to when you get to 25, your mind will start developing when you get around 25 years old. So the point I seen what he was saying, I'm going to the solution part. We covered the problems. Well, we kind of touch up on the problem. Let's do the solution, like. And he's just saying that let parents should raise their kids, and not worry about what society, the government, whatever, trying to impose and say under the law. You know what I'm saying? That is their child, and if they don't want their child to be doing anything like that, and they want to raise their child accordingly, society should not have nothing to say about that. And he's just saying that black people specifically, gotta stop buying to what society say, feel, think, believe, and be imposed on us. So I really think that was powerful because too many times we give up a lot of parental control and we let our kids run our house. Period. You know what I'm saying? And when he was talking about it, it just made me think. Like, it just made me think. And like the music, like we're gonna flip it to the music. He was saying, he was calling them out. You know what I'm saying? Talking about killing each other. You know what I'm saying? They're talking about we talking about how we talk about killing each other and selling drugs and all this stuff here. I'm gonna give I ain't getting up my coochie to a man till he give me 50,000, whatever. Like the they talking about the city girls. He was playing the city girls. The girl out of Houston, what her name is out of Houston? Megan Thee Stallion, you know what I'm saying? They call it bees and what have you. And he's saying this is the kind of stuff that's so popular that kids and everything, it's also jamming to, which is what some society pushing out there. And I'm passing the mic to you just to comment on that too, because he was covering a lot of things, you know what I'm saying, with the negativity in the rap, on what the rap don't really, like he said Lil Nas X is more popular than Kendrick Lamar. Kendrick Lamar is a positive rapper. But I want to talk about like the rap scene, like how a lot of this toxic rap, this negative rap. I ain't talking about the positive, the negative stuff, the stuff that's being pushed down our ears every day. You know what I'm saying? We watch videos or whatever. I'm passing. I'm gonna let you comment on that too.
You mentioned Kendrick Lamar, and all I can say, I'm an Israelite. Don't call me black no more. I'm gonna let that resonate, let that marinate. And so, pause for effect. So when Kwame Brown goes in on these people about the propaganda that the powers that be is trying to push upon our children, it is us as adults to step in and say, no, we're not standing for that. That's not what we want our community to look like. That's not what we're going to stand for in our community. And we're putting our foot down. Now, like, Kwame Brown said himself, he has members of his family that's of the homosexuality persuasion. Newsflash, family, I too dealt in that alternative lifestyle. But since then, I woke up and realized that that is not the way. That is not the way for our people. It's toxic. It is toxic. And I'm guaranteeing to tell you that you live your life on a limb in a lifestyle because it's not right. So what Kwame Brown is trying to say, do not let the propaganda of the masses dictate what your child shall be. Do not let the prop stars, the movie stars, the basketball stars. As a matter of fact, I just heard a report that Stephen A. Smith went in hard for the first openly gay white male that came out or whatever. Some gay white male came out in NFL and everybody's all like, go rah, rah, rah for him. That is BS. I call BS. I call BS for the simple fact that that's a bunch of propaganda and that's trying to lead our people into this acceptance state where we're going to accept whatever, right? So if you live in a society where there's no rules and everything goes, that is a society that is created for chaos, and the powers that be want the chaos so they can set the order. out of chaos is what they want. So all these people that Kwame Brown is speaking about that's pushing this propaganda and going along with the propaganda are in fact our enemies. And that's what he's saying. And we need to push back every time we hear it. We need to push back every time we see it as Black individuals that's standing up, woke, touched, and want to move forward with the progression of the Black community and not keep us going back to the 16th, 15th, and BC century where the Romans were doing whatever. You understand? Where the Greeks was doing whatever. You understand? Where the people that was living in the days of Sodom and Gomorrah was doing whatever. Lawless society is what we're living in right now because we as a people have no moral standing. And that's what Kwame Brown is speaking to whenever he says, Mama's cooking. See, Mama's cooking is what you were raised on. Mama's cooking is the moral standing that you stand on as a man or a woman, daughter of Zion. Women, I want to speak to particularly to my women right now because you are daughters of Zion and you should be representing us as the daughters of Zion, the queen that you are in the spirit that the Most High has given you. And when you see injustice and you see things that's not going against what's right, we see things that's not going against what's right, we are supposed to admonish it immediately. And we're supposed to uplift things that's right. As daughters of Zion, we have a voice, and our voice is missing in this whole thing. We got a whole lot of men speaking, and we have very little few voices of women that's speaking. And Kwame Brown spoke upon that too, right? We can't not miss this because the daughters of Zion that's raising these men without fathers in the home has a lot to do with how these men turn out and how these men decide that they want to go and love upon another man. We're going to speak truth to power, and that's what this is about. If there is not men in the home to teach men how to be men, then sisters, you need to get yourself a mentor for your young man. Major, you already know. I got one. I'm trying to raise one. And I already told you, April, you need to call this out, you know? And I'm serious about that. Because if we continue to, sisters, if we continue to try to raise men without a male figure in the home, then they're taking on all our qualities. And they don't have any of that man qualities that they need in order to be able to succeed in this life. Unless you are a strong woman that already have knowledge of what a man should be like, and you're spiritually grounded on what a man should be like and walking in the spirit of the Most High, you're probably going to need some help from a man to teach these men how to be men. And Kwame spoke about that. He spoke about how these men today, and I do believe the reason why a lot of these men are on these platforms on social media speaking all in their feelings, get caught up all in their feelings, is because they did not have that strong male figure in their life to tell them how to control their feelings and speak on facts. Never let them know how you're feeling, man. Never let them know how you're feeling. And that's what the sisters is waiting on, for our men to get up out of their feelings and start acting like men and stop acting like these faggots.
I must admit that when he put emphasis on that, I think when you just bring everything in full context, that whole, I don't know, 2 hours video was basically about men, really. You know what I'm saying? Men not being men, not being black men, and and families, representing the better side of men in our community. Because when you look at what's pushed out there, right? When he addressed the Charlemagne God and DJ Envy playing about a cake, a booty cake or what have you, talking about sucking penis, all of those crazy they be saying on the Breakfast Club, right? He called all that out, you know what I'm saying? As well as he talked about the Lanai situation and how, you know what I'm saying, a lot of time when you listen to music and how they always talk about killing, you know what I'm saying? Or either shaking their butt or getting some money for sex or what have you, all this crazy stuff here. He's saying, what kind of example as black men we giving out there to our kids? And he also addressing the women with the nonsense, with the way they're rapping the music and talking and acting and so forth. So on. And they say they wonder why. He said he wonder why the young black um boys don't want to entertain some young black girls because they have the big head feeling like, hey, I heard something from City Girls or Megan Thee Stallion, and whatever they echoing and rapping about or slang, they repeating the same thing to the little boys. So he's saying that's why they're not even taking them serious because they, it's toxic music, right? And a lot of these young sisters, they growing up very beautiful, you know what I'm saying? And a lot of them hearing the music, they rap it, they know it word for word. And they be telling the other black boys, like, hey, this was up. If you don't got no money or this, that, nothing, what have you. So the stuff he was talking about, I know it don't fit all our people, but those who are really affected by it, and we go in a lot of these poor neighborhoods, they're affected by it. So for me, I felt like he was really like, because when even when he talked, it was just a thing whereas this Nas X thing he built off that, and them kissing on the stage and stuff, and how society is pushing that in the home of families that's raising young kids that don't know nothing about life, but tell them they have a church and they can be this, that, and another, stripping the family of their responsibility in raising their children. And then they've been attacked by the go along, get along gang, you know what I'm saying? That's the media and everybody got something to say. And this person who is part of the LGBT community, LGBT community, and other people that come out, and it just so say he talked about the Vance Jones era, he talked about dying them and how you hurt, what have you, and crying on TV, Vance Jones, and it just was deep how he was just picking out certain men that's in the media, Charlamagne the God, DJ Eminem, and the media, and how they be flip flopping, straddling the fence, don't come off as alpha, seem like they bait them else. It's just crazy, you know what I'm saying? And then he brought up Burst Watkins, right? And how he said, Burst for so long, we found out about the Asian guy teaching him how to sell hope and talking about really actually saying that black people really gonna get what you're saying. They really, it's like this for black people and so forsworn and what have you, but you just selling hope and woo-woo. It don't matter if they get it or not. It's just about this, that, another. And then he was saying how Burst Watkins, everything, which is true, everything he presents to black people, he's selling. And brother said, look, Kwame said, look, I do these videos, I give a lot of information out. I tell people to use it and they make money on me. He said, man, I'm not tripping. I want to see people eat, right? And I thought that was just so powerful because when he said that about Burst Records, I always say this, and people know this. I always say, what happened to love? People have a price on they're trying to sell you everything, And it's sad because this brother, Burst Watkins, he had the attention of the black community. He still have attention of, but Kwame Brown single-handedly just, it's like he rolling a bowling ball into bowling pins and just destroying brothers' character, really showing them with his background. I watched Burst Watkins talk slick about people, talk bad about people, talk he won't talk to them at the same time, he cutting them down. And then at the same time, I watched how every time he would speak and how he would explain things to you, he'll make it seem like it's so complicated when it's not. And he get upset. He'll say a little disrespectful things, dissing the black community, saying this outlandish thing. I'm like, damn, why you just don't teach it? You don't see what you're going. That's why I couldn't really gravitate to the brother. But when Kwame brought that out about him, and then how he said, man, I'm doing it, I'm giving it to the people where they can just eat off me. I don't care. I'm just exposing them. And I want you to mic and let you share what you think about that.
Well, Kwame Brown exposed the go along to get along game that has been systematically oppressing our people, and it's been done by the hands of our people. That's what he's exposing. He's exposing how we have prominent brothers that have so-called arrived, and I'll put that in air quotes, arrived, right? And they're now trying to be the voice of the people, black people, right? But in the same breath that they're trying to be the voice of the people, they're trying to keep their handlers happy. So they can only go so far, right? That just goes like what Kwame Brown was saying about the pastors in the community. They're
Yeah.
eating off the community. You know, they get in their Bentleys, they go back to their mansions,
Mm.
and they're good. But yet their parishioners, people that pay tithes to their church and pay to the building fund and pay to the benevolent fund, they are hurting. They can't pay their rent. They live in paycheck to paycheck. At any given month, their water or their lights may be cut off. But yet the pastor goes home in his Bentley to his mansion in the hills. And I'm not just speaking on some things that I'm just saying in the news. I'm speaking from experience of being a what they call so-called in air quotes, what they namely what they called it, Christian education director in the African Methodist Episcopal Church. Christian education director in the African Methodist Episcopal Church. That's where my experience come from. And that is a major organization. AME Church, that's a major organization. And they're running that church as a business. As a business. And the people in the church, the parishioners that's funding this AME church are hurting. The deacons, the clergymen, the secretaries, the musicians, they get paid. The parishioners are paying them. But before the musicians and the preachers and all of them get paid, they got to give the money to the Catholic Church. Ooh, and the Catholic Church trickle the money back down to them to decide what they're going to do in their church, and they're categorized by ABC, just like we categorize our real estate, ABC. You got an A church, a B church, or a C church in that organization. Is that church, y'all? Church is supposed to be the body of the people, but yet it's represented by the Catholic Church. So what I'm saying is that all these people that have prominent positions, they have handlers, and the handlers do not look like you and I. So what Kwame Brown is trying to tell you guys is that the go along to get along game have handlers, and they're saying these things and they're putting these things out to us because they are promoting the handlers' agenda. If you do not procreate, then our race become extinct, and they stand in their own twisted brains, have more of a chance of surviving if they do us in. But see, we the most high chosen people. We don't die, we multiply. And so once our people understand and understand what the end game is to make us extinct on this planet, then they will continue to do what they're doing to further their cause to exterminate us. And that's the bottom line. And that's what Kwame Brown is trying to tell us. They're trying to kill us, period.
And how he called the black church was he went there, he just I mean, just call it what it is. You know, they like vampires. It just suck all the blood out the black community. You know what I'm saying? And don't know how to resuscitate. Don't know how to bring them back to life. You know what I'm saying? And we watch our people constantly believe in that higher source and a higher being, but not able to resonate what's going on when they go to church and try to look for these answers and what have you. And the brainwashing and the business side of the church gang. You know, I had went to New Orleans Baptist Seminary years ago. You know what I'm saying? And the church is run like a business. Like it's really run like a business. And to make a long story short, when he talked about how, you know, they get this sermon, what have you, take all these donations and what have you, and they leave. I mean, they leave and go to these big, pretty subdivisions and homes and neighborhoods or what have you, or acres of land and whatnot. They got airplanes and choppers and all that, helicopters, and you got black people that's suffering, that's poor, and they got off the back of them people, you know. And it's just sad how our people constantly sold a dream. And I have to go get on a get along gang too in a second, but it is sad how he he exposed the obvious truth that most of us know about, most of us probably have said, but to him said it was great. But when he talked about the get along gang, when he was talking about how Charlamagne the guy were preaching about mental health and they be talking about doing for self or what have you, but then turn around and he got Donald Rollins on the show and did what he did that, brother. You know what I'm saying? Cut the mic off, left out, and what have you. And the brother was asking, why you don't treat when you treat David Chappelle? And I watched him disrespect this brother, you know, and several other brothers on there. But you talk about mental health, you talking about positive talk and so forth, so on. It's like a contradiction, like, and the whole thing all along. A lot of black sports commentators, especially the ones that never played professional football or sports, like Cody said, they serve the powers that be narrative. The what talk down and bad about black athletes and black people in general that get in trouble. Because some of these sports commentators, something happened to the community, something real bad, and the black person involved, they'll comment on that. But guess what Kwame Brown said? The same thing I said on my channel when I first went to speaking about when we came on the scene on YouTube talking about this. He talked about Ben Pittsburgh Steelers quarterback Ben Roethlisberger. He caught not one but two sexual assault charges. You'll never hear him talk about that. Robert Kraft got caught a whole rape charge in Miami, one of them sex saloons, one of them Asian saloons in Miami, and you ain't heard about that. You ain't heard about that anymore after they dropped the charges. And you hear Steve A. Smith say, "Well, you gotta understand, man. You black and blah blah woo." That's even more so why you should stand up for our people, because you know that they're being targeted. But what you do, you take the opposing side, try to find all the wrong. Like when you look at it, when you look at it, or you look at it, it's like it's all about finding fault. And I realize these news channels, these sports channels, especially sports, what they do, they critiquing athletes. And the 99.9% of the time gonna be a black person critiquing. He called and Kwame did a great job calling them out. You know what I'm saying? And when I think about everything that's been said from the point that he went viral with the All Smoke what Matt Brown and Steven Jackson, then Tyler Manning, how this brother just went to just calling people out and what have you, and then how you see how they just bunching up against him. But the funny part about this is the funny part, and I'm about to just say it all. We see in the black community now among black people that Kwame Brown calling out. That was the white media been doing for years. They've been doing that for years. What always find a reason to say something bad about somebody black. Especially they had money. It was great athletes. Some had something going for. Quick to expose and talk bad about a black person. But now, guess what they did? They took the white face on the screen, put the black face on the screen. I passed the mic.
Yes, my brother. Yes, they're making us, you know, I take the mayor of Chicago, Lightfoot. All right. She's the first openly gay mayor in the United States, black mayor. Openly gay black mayor in these United States, Lightfoot. And I watched a recent city council meeting where Lightfoot exerted her manhood. I'm gonna just put it that way. But her manhood came by the power of the Khazar. The white man that was feeding her all the information, and his title was city attorney. Follow what I'm saying? So she's supposed to be the mayor of Chicago, but the attorney is telling her how she should run her city council because she's the mayor. And it was ridiculous. Y'all just go and look it up. So what I'm saying is that these people that look like us, that's in power, they're in power for a reason. Understand that. They're in power for a reason. And the people that put them in power are controlling them. Once we grasp our mind around that and understand that they're being controlled by somebody else, and we can understand that we need to be self-determined and have self-control and understand that we don't rock with that. And that's what Kwame Brown is saying. They doing that. We're not rocking with that. We're looking at our children. Because the whole time, Kwame Brown, they may talk about how he used bad language. Hell, I'm guilty. And I'm still asking the Most High y'all to help me with my filthy mouth. And I pray the Most High never comes out on this platform. But, however, don't miss the message that he's trying to give. Understand? That's the whole reason why, Major, I don't really show my face, because when I speak, I'm very animated. And so I don't want you to miss what I'm saying by you being caught up in my actions and my facial expressions. I want you to hear what I'm saying. And because Kwame Brown and people like B.E.T are colorful when they speak, sometimes the message get missed. But what I did not miss, because I speak both of their language, is that both of those individuals, B.E.T and Kwame Brown, is all about the children, because they're our future. And what the masses is putting out to our children is toxic. And if we as adults that's in this community, and if we have as adults that are parenting our children, do not stand up and say we will not stand for this, this is unacceptable. And it's immoral. It's immoral. Stand up and say it. This is not how our society and our community should be. This is not what we stand. This is not what we should stand for, and this is not what we want our future to look like for our kids, where they can't decide whether or not. Oh, they will decide when they're 6 or 7 years old whether or not they want to be a boy or a girl, when the Most High has deemed them what they should be. That should not be. We should not yield our power as parents and as adults to children. We should not decide that it's okay for them to engage in sexual activity at the age of 13. And that's what Kwame Brown is saying. The things that they're propagating to our children is unacceptable. And we as the Black community, a Black nation, must say, no, it's unacceptable. And we will not tolerate the BS that you're putting in front of our children. And I'm telling y'all right now, if you don't want it to happen, you're living in democracy. You're living in what they call a democracy, the B system. If you want to separate yourself from the B system, I'm telling you to take your kids out of their system, because that's what they're pushing, their democracy. And democracy is do as thou wilt. Do what you want to do. You are in control. No rules. But that's against moral society. That's against moral law. And that's what we need to get back to as a nation of people, our moral standards. I don't give a care what the government say. How are you supposed to act with yourself, and how are you supposed to act with your fellow man? That's moral code. I yield the mic, bro. I'm sorry.
Now you did good. You did good. You know, I got that driving get me. I'm a little tired there, but I'm gonna keep it going. We ain't going nowhere. But let me say this. I won't lie. This brother roast Rob Parker. I mean, he went through. People was roasting. He went for a good 5 minutes of roasting. When I saw left the whole way, Kwame is he's a character. The brother have a sense of humor that's powerful. You know what I'm saying? And as he chopping people down, he spit knowledge too. You know what I'm saying? The difference I think from him versus everybody else that use profane when they talking, be whatever, is he emanate a different kind of energy. Because you gotta realize, you know, people say he's been talking like this. You know what I'm saying? But on YouTube, we know about all the things that have been said about him lately and how he reacting to it. But it's amazing how this brother be cooking. And so they say, "Mama cooking," and this brother really be cooking. A lot of people talking real stuff, and it's like we know this, but coming from him, he just made it so real. Because just like what's going on with the police violence in our community and the violence in our community, we become socially numb. We become socially numb to a lot of it because we realize that damn, you know, this go along, get along gang, they backed it by the powers that be. And they all working it on way on code with themselves, right? Well, you can please, Mr. Bobo, can see that's been the biggest thing. And when they say you can't try to throw so and so in our face, the ones that's doing good versus the ones that's not. That's why I say this is why these people got to hate, because these people, you know, don't want what they want, and that's not true. Because of stuff like that, you know, it's like you gotta kiss ass, you gotta go along with the system. All right, look at all the people they fired in the white. Look at all the blacks they fired in the white media. Soon they, even on CNN, soon they do something like fire. You know, and the thing about it is, it's so sad because though the money look good, look what you're giving up. See, we be talking about the sacrifice thing, right? All the sacrificing too. You sacrificing your people for that bag. How can you talk about mental health in the same breath be talking down on somebody? When you do that, you mess with somebody's self-esteem. People like you messing with not just his pockets, you mess with the person's self-esteem too when you constantly talking down on them and everybody else talking down on them like these commentators do to these black athletes. You don't never hear nothing. They say nothing about some garbage white boys on the NBA. They got so much garbage. They got a lot of garbage in the NBA, white boys. A bunch of you never say nothing about them. Never. You know what I'm saying? And then you'll catch one of them white commentators. Oh, so-and-so, he pretty nice. He rebounded, blah, blah. Oh, he got 20-something from. That man might not see that no more. You know what I'm saying? Oh, yeah. But they don't talk about that. And that's what makes it so bad. And the funny part, and this is the crazy part, they're paid to do that. They're paid to critique players. And so having by league being majority black, I mean, they're going to our brothers and sisters hard, and it's just sad, you know. And I got to salute Kwame Brown for even having the gall to just do what he did and said, F it, I'm going to just tell it how it is. And when I say that brother got like an AK, he unloading the clip and reload, unloading the clip and reload, you know what I'm saying? Unloading the clip and reloading because this brother have had enough of it. I think we need that. You know what's so good about him? He was a public figure. Former on no one draft pick. He was an NBA, you know what I'm saying? He had money. That's the right brother, do what he's doing. Person like me and Cody, we probably would never got that far. You know what I'm saying? But what's important is now, I got to shout out to black media, we doing our thing. All of us not on code. Most of us on code. And that's just beautiful. But to watch what Kwame is doing, the stance he took, and how he urging all black people that's in black media. I mean, he's ruthless. He's so happy to see how we talking. He's like, man, y'all take my video, use, make money. I don't care. I ain't like Bars trying to sell everything to y'all. I ain't trying to sell nothing to y'all. You know what I'm saying? I'm trying to tell y'all straight up like this. Man, look, tell her how it is. I'm tired of it. And what makes him become so passionate, what I love about him, he tell you how he's sick and tired of seeing us kill each other. He tells how he's sick and tired of seeing how they treat us. You know what I'm saying? He's sick and tired of seeing people that's been in position for so long talking about their leaders and they want to do this and do that, preaching the same old stuff and not getting hardly nothing done. He said enough of y'all go march down City Hall and get some act right. And nothing for y'all to get stuff together in your community. Y'all need no police, no community. You police your own community. Ain't enough for y'all to grow your own food. Start y'all business to help each other. It ain't nothing. This brother show a lot of passion. And I'm sitting there just watching. I'm like, wow. I'm like, damn, he on fire. Shout out to Dawson True. Thank you for the super chat. I said we use the church to do nothing. Say it nothing. So hashtag fam. Real talk. I mean, at one time, the church was investing in businesses. The business would go to church and, borrow from the church and pay them back to the bank. The church was really, on the slick side, a private investment in the black community, like a private bank. We lost that. See, black people, what I noticed in my lifetime, especially with black churches, they always wanted to be different. They didn't want to show everybody was different, especially white people. When Corey was talking about Catholic Church, I heard like the Baptists, the big Baptist thing. A lot of you Baptist church, they pay the white churches, right? They gotta give them so much money. She was saying at the Vatican. I don't know if she's saying the same thing with the Catholic, but I heard who that was said that. I know that was Dr. Ray Hagan. He was talking about how they pay the churches and then they get retirement years later. And a lot of churches that they giving the money to, like whatever they pay so much a percentage of their tithes, a lot of these churches supporting Trump. You know what I'm saying? So it was crazy how we are being played. And the funny part about it, what I do love about Kwame, he don't speak complicated. He's not trying to go all over your head. He telling you what it is. And what I love the most about is he calling out the black men. Especially the ones who already acting like beta males, especially the ones who are already in front and center in front of the camera. The rappers, you know what I'm saying? The so-called commentators and podcasters and what have you. People that just claiming to be black or okay and stuff. They know it should be okay in public. And then he gonna call them out. You wouldn't want to happen to your kid or your daughter, whatever. He was talking about how he was urging kids to be going to closet and filming girls or jumping on girls, something like that. I don't know exactly how Kwame was talking about. And he said, y'all got daughters, y'all know goddamn well. I mean, you want nobody to see with your daughter. You know, nobody do your daughter there. And I'm like, damn, he right. A lot of time on the Breakfast Club and different podcasts, you'll hear things echoing and saying, like, damn, why he said that? Or why she said that? It's too much nonsense, y'all, being spewed out the mouth of our people in front of the big screen, rapping, social media, podcasts, television. Too much of stuff being spewed that's not helping for the black family at all. And for black men, we have to understand. We have to understand that it's our job to raise our boys. It's our job. And for the society, brainwash to think that it's cool to let our child determine his sex at a tender age, underage, a child, it's not right. Vice versa for black women, it's your job to raise black girls. And not let society dictate to you that if your child is strange or want to be your daughter want to be a boy, that you have to accept that she want to be a boy then raising that child according to that child biological and God given right as a young girl. Once she become adult, that's on them once they become adults. And we have to just put that out here. And I love the way how he was pushing it out there. This brother's talking about community building. This brother's printing out people on the internet that's trying to sell us stuff that's black, that talk pro-black, could be giving us that supposed to always selling it. He talking about people that always talk pro-black. You know what I'm saying? But at the same time, they're not really producing fruit. And he telling black fella what you gotta go do. He telling black people what you gotta go do. He's not just talking about the black man, the black woman. He's talking to the black children too. Anybody listening? Because he wanted to get that message. So for me, I'm gonna give the mic back to Cody again, but I just have to say this. We need this right now. We need it because see, we know about what's going on with Jim J. All praise to the Most High that he be all right, as well as the brother Ozone. All praise the Most High he be all right as well. We know what they're going through, right? And what their whole goal was about was protecting us and informing us. But now these brothers are fighting for their life. You have Most High blessed with Kwame. You feel me? To speak, you know what I'm saying? And inspire like Jim J, Ozone, and everybody have been doing, and then we're just pushing for true liberation. It's a beautiful thing. I'm going to yell the mic to Cody.
Thank you for that, my brother. And the spirit is moving because I was just thinking on Ozone, and I said when I come back, I was going to speak on Ozone. So, hey, brother, shout out to you, Major TVs, for being aligned with the spirits right now. And what I'm going to say to y'all, brothers and sisters, is you have to find it mighty funny that the mass media is not talking about Othar Wallace in what he's facing. Instead, we have just the local news in Daytona and maybe in Georgia speaking about how people are raising funds for the officer that is improving right now in the hospital from the alleged gunshot wound that he received from our brother, alleged gunshot wound that he received from our brother, Ozar Wallace. So what we perceive to be as journalism is not journalism. It's actually, if it's a black man, we're going to try him in the court of public opinion before he even stand trial. And by the court of public opinion, he's already been deemed to have done this. From a 23-second video in black mass media, I'm talking the mass media, talking about The Root, I'm talking about MSNBC, I'm talking about CNN, I'm talking about all these people that supposedly was backing Black Lives Matter. They're not saying anything about our brother in a positive light. What they said was that he was wanted, and then they said he was captured, and then there's nothing else. But we do know about the $250,000 that they've already raised for the man that's in the hospital that was shot, and we still have no idea what happened to our brother and what transpired. All we know is that he fled for his life. That's what I saw. That's what I saw. Because anytime somebody put their hands upon me, that's a matter of life and death. Considering the environment we're living in right now, let's not forget George Floyd, Tamir Rice. We can go on and on and on behind the black men that was accosted by the police, stopped by the police for simple traffic stops, and then they're not with us anymore. And so just imagine what our brother was thinking when this cop approached him. But the media is not talking about that, so it's imperative that we talk about that. And we let it be known that we saw that. We saw that. And we are human, and we have human rights. And so shouts out to you, Major TV, for even bringing his name up right now in this hour. And yes, we do need to keep him in our prayers as long as we're keeping Grandmaster Jay in our prayers until both of those brothers are exonerated and set free to be about their human rights. Then we can't stop saying their names and saying we support them and saying all praises to the Most High for their safety and their continued safety and the support of our people, and for us standing up as a Black nation to go against the go along to get along gang as well as the powers that be. I yield the mic.
Yeah, I totally agree. Definitely, we have to show a moment of reverence and acknowledgement of Ozone and what he was to the black community, and we can never forget that him, GMJ, even political prisoners that's been locked up over 30, 40, 50, 60 years in prison. I mean, they all need our support. In some way or another. I know our reach can go so far, but if it's no more than heaven, those in prayer. Because sometimes we may not have the monies or the finances or the funds. We can still pray for them. You know what I'm saying? We still can support in some kind of way. But I don't be concerned. I've just hashtag support Ozone, hashtag exonerate Jim J. And I just wanted to just acknowledge the brother. And I forgot to apologize for not putting on the slide earlier, but nigga see it on the ticket coming across the screen that we definitely even though we support Jim J very heavy, we also support this brother here. You know what I'm saying? Despite the split, despite what was said and what was done, at the end of the day, he was a brother in struggle, and we're gonna definitely get behind him. So don't get it twisted. Like, I mean, I'm for my people regardless. Ain't no sides with me. It's all about the black people first, and those who are involved in helping bring change. I'm behind 100%. But look, it's been a beautiful night. Salute to Kwame Brown. Salute to Cody for just hanging out with Major TV tonight and contributing like she do. Y'all subscribe to her YouTube channel and whatnot. You know what I'm saying? Y'all get at her. She's real estate, broke in San Antonio. She can give you some advice and whatnot. She's a great help. We do our podcast every Sunday, 12 noon Eastern, Central, 11 Mountain Time, what 10 and Pacific, 9. Check us out. It's called Generational Well Building. We had Elaine on there this weekend. It was beautiful. Elena Porter. It was how generational wealth bridge the gap with self determination. Us having our own land. We got to understand about self determination. It's not just going somewhere. You can have in the United States too. And we're gonna do a part 2 of that. But 2 of that. But I'm not gonna lie to you. Going back to our original subject, y'all need to go check that video. It was very, very deep. The brother was very profound, and not in thought, but just his engagement. Just the fact that he knew who he was gonna call out, he knew what he was talking about, and he had so much of things we knew that was already there by a lot of these guys, and stuff we didn't know, and it just music to my ears when a black man or black woman speaking up, being unapologetically black, being truthful, really just calling how it is and not being afraid. I really admire Kwame and what he's doing. And anybody that's out there just speaking up. And again, salute the black media. I'm so proud to see a lot of us on cool. A lot of us talking about the same thing. I mean, so many people. I mean, I seen the brother Hussein Campbell. I know he be doing all kind of social media stuff and celebrities, whatever. But he went at a white guy talking about ozone, man. I mean, talking about what about the cop? He was just talking crazy, right? And man, this brother broke the video down and was just going at the white guy. And then you got As TV, this young sister, 24, she's on fire. I mean, this sister was out there behind ozone, and this period, and this sister talk have all kind of. She talk about relationships and everything, and she really like for as young as she is, she really trying to bring the black woman back. She really addressing all the promiscuous behavior on news from black women. You know what I'm saying? How black women are, period, not wearing clothes or whatever the case might be. This young sister be doing her thing. I want to send a shout out to her. Crump TV, shout out to Bro Crump. Crump TV, I want to send a shout out to him and a bunch of other people. You know what I'm saying? OC the Great, Talk Black Me, everybody, man. You know what I'm saying? And it's love. You know, it's just love with us. I appreciate you. Let me go through comments, see what's going on. I know y'all already hear what's going on right here. Let me see, because a bunch of comments. Nicole and Bill say shalom. Shalom, I quoted some of his views. Promise we've heard it before from our Supreme Commander, All Eyes and Jim Jim. Real talk. We'll make it red. Kwame saying what a lot of us country people been saying. Yes, indeed. I don't believe nothing this government, this demonic government say or do. The wheat and the tares. Basic morals and values is getting destroyed these days. Kwame is speaking up for black males, black kings, for real, for real. Before we'll talk about white, black, Jews, Israelites, etc., who were we? The world didn't speak the English language. We have been brainwashed and new systems trying to find out why and what we are. I think it's very interesting how less than a year ago, Jim J talking about creating an ethno nation centered around Kemet and Lil Nas X was used to mock Kemet, add chaos to the U.S.
Yes, sir. That's that chaos. I mean, order out of chaos. New world order. Order out of chaos. So they create the chaos so they can bring in the order, and you're gonna submit if you're not paying attention.
Kwame is calling out all the get along game. Got a lot of comments, boy. Y'all getting in tonight. Can't get all of them, catch some of them. We have to know there's a difference between black people and white people. Black people, big difference. I don't let my boys go, as they say, spend the night or no sleepovers. I don't have I didn't have company in and out my house. Where my boys couldn't go, I didn't go. Talk, sister, talk. Stephanie said, praise to the Most High, Major. Know that you are major. Know that you appreciate it. Much love, blessing, support. To our brothers on GMJ, NFAC, family for life. That's all love with me, sweetheart. Thank you so much. Appreciate the shout out. Lil Nas X is a disgusting human being fulfilled. He had no respect or care for thousands of children that follow him. They say facts. All young men need a pastor's rights ceremony is in our bylaws of our ancestors.
And that's what's missing in the black community amongst our young men. They have no rights. I'm gonna let
Mm-hmm.
you go, bro. I'm sorry, bro.
You
You look
good?
tired.
Oh, you
Yes.
good? You good? You don't worry about me. I'm good. I got this. Manhood is never questioned with this society. The bottom line, end of the day, is all about technology and who's controlling technology. For real, I'm good. Don't worry about me. I'm good. I might be bobbing weaving, but I got this. Trust me. You know what I'm saying? Trust me. Rochelle Sharp, but true, a lot of churches are business when you go to church. It's like going to a job on Sunday. You got clicks, low down people at church. I'd rather stay home. You're not lying, sweetheart. That's so true. A lot of clicking up in the church. Those truths said, thank you, Bush. Faith based, and they still started playing black church to quiet about everything except a small portion of the Bible. Hey, you tell me. YouTube, man. I don't know. I'm telling you, I ain't that all in on that Then for the abbreviation, I put it all together. Virginia said Kwame expecting all to go along, get along gang who the white city he is bringing re,
Oh,
receipts.
let me read that for you, Major. Kwame is exposing all the go along and get along who are white zaddy are, who the white zaddy are. He is bringing receipts. White zaddy, that's equivalent to, I'm going to put this in air quotes, handlers.
All
White
right, I know what
zaddy
you're talking
equals handlers. Okay? Yeah.
about. I know what you thought. I was just rushing trying to get this next comment, but I know what you were talking about though. For real, I just was rushing. Geechee power, ancestral power, black power. Yes, it did. Yes, it did. These pastors been in bed with the enemy since day one. Kwame, I know how Kwame speak. Remind my uncles. Yes, indeed. They use us and continue to do so. Has been for a long time. Has been for a long time. Make ton of money off us and win. Then make us look like fools or guilty. Mm. They say you're right, Cody. Yes, you're right, Cody. Y'all got some heat coming there. We know seeing the. So you can read it. You gonna read it, Cody. I'll let you read it. You wanna read it? We know seeing the checks and all. We all see the results. The churches ain't for us either. Look at the churches. Only a few driving families. Everyone else in the church is just paying and praying. Look, y'all, my eyes get blurry. I can't even see.
Yeah, I see you. I'm sorry. I was on another page. I was looking at you on YouTube. I had to go back to this page to click unmute. But yeah, I got you. If you want to keep rolling or not, you want to tell the
I
people
gotta
it's
get my glass.
alone. How?
All right, we good. You can read because my eyes getting blurry.
Okay, read them out. I agree with Coty, but some men have or had strong men in their lives. But a lot of black people sell out for their money and fame and power. And that's true. You know, some of our men do go astray, even when they got a man and a woman in the house. Father, it's you know, some of us just ain't gonna make it. Put it that way. Kwame is a down to earth young black man, even though he has a foul mouth or not. He reached many young blacks that can relate to him. There's a message behind foul language that all that's all that matters. And I agree, Virginia. Yes, ma'am. I mean, sometimes we got to get their attention. So we use the language to get their attention. We got to get your attention out.
I can't go no more, y'all. I'm done. Look, I'm sorry, y'all. I can't go no more. I'm blurry. My eyes get blurry. I apologize. I love all the comments, the chat, what have you, but I'm definitely super, super tired. I'm sorry. I'm like Nad the Wano right now. I ain't at my best at all. Want to get your last words recorded before we leave?
Hey, I just want to say I love you all with the love of Yahuwah. Stay black and don't be fooled by the propaganda. They're gonna come with y'all with all kind of things. Y'all gonna hear a whole lot of things in this over the summer. Do not be swayed. Do not be swayed. Stand strong. Be black. Shalom.
Thank you, Cody, so much for all the love and support. Thank you so much for tuning in with us, for being a cause. I want to thank you all in the chat. Y'all been super. I'm sorry, but I'm tired. My eyes blurry. My glasses way up down for like grabbing them. And I try to get y'all the best of me, but right now, energy level is down. But I enjoy the time. I love the engagement. Again, I apologize. I can't go through all the comments and whatnot, but I really appreciate it. I love y'all. I want y'all to know one thing. Do me one favor. Stay focused, stay on code, and just be black. Peace.